Microphone check, microphone checker. Microphone check, microphone checker. Microphone check, microphone checker. Yeah. Okay, my levels look decent. Microphone check. Microphone check. Alright, what we doing? MPC Essentials Workflow. Sample edit. We're going to dig in to how the sample gets flipped on this particular tutorial. I'm not going to go too heavy. I'm going to just give you some tools. And again, for you beginner guys, this is the last in the series of my MPC Essentials tutorials videos. I'm going to go to MPC 2.0. So get what you can get while you can get it. Alright, if you just started on MPC Essentials, like you just got a new Akai MPK Mini, or you just got a MPD 220 whatever, 226, 2 whatever, because MPC Essentials comes with the new MPDs. If you just got it, this playlist will help you a lot. But I'm coming to the end of the road with MPC Essentials, and then I'm gonna graduate you guys into MPC Studio 2.0. Now, if you have an MPD, if you have a Akai MPK Mini, just log into your Akai Pro account, register your joint, and you can get MPC 2.0 for the low. You dig? And so don't tell them Brother Love sent you though, because I don't know what they're gonna tell you. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I guess I'll start at the beginning, even though there is no beginning. It's all relative to what you're trying to do. So I'm stroking my beard. Okay, grasshopper. Your kung fu's pretty good, but it's not as good as mine. Here, take this stone out of my hand. All right, let me stop joking around. All right, so sampler. Let me get my mind acclimated to this joint. So MPC Essentials is a sampler. Get it in through your head. This is a sampler program. It's not a DAW. It's not gonna turn you into Dr. Dre tomorrow, even though you can make some dope beats with the joint. This is a sampler. It works with samples. You can take samples, you can lay them across the keys. You can take samples, you can put it across the pads. You could take a sample and you could put effects on it. You could chop a sample up. You could slice the sample. You can dice the sample. But this is a sampler. You can load VSTs into it, but with the purpose of sampling the VST. Okay? I'll show you a couple of those techniques. I'll show you how to sample something. All right? I'll show you how to take a sample and put it in here and sample it. I'll show you how to sample a sample. Because that's what MPC Essentials is. It is a MPC on your computer. It is a sampler. At the end of the day, nothing else. It's a sampler. I can't say it enough, okay? I had to drive that home, okay? If you have any sampler questions, I am looking at the live chat box. If y'all want a shout out or whatever, hit me up. What up, King Persia? King Persia said new upgrade to MPC 2.0 software from 1.9. Yeah, he's got the price in the you dig, the comment section. I appreciate that, King Persia. And YouTube upgraded where you can see the live comments in the regular comment section now. So you just click the little drop down and you can go and follow King Persia. You did. Speaking of following, all of my social media stuff is on the right hand side of the screen. So follow me up. subscribe me up, all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna dig in here really soon. I'm not sure which link you're talking about, King Persia. But yeah, the link for MPC Studio is inside of your Akai Pro account, so you gotta set that up, log in, and register your mini and all of that stuff. Alright, sampler. There's so many different ways to sample with this boy, and there's so many different things to do with a sample. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for the ones that are just starting, like you're brand new. So if you just loaded MPC Essentials up, you just plugged your Akai MPK mini in, you would have one of these joints. You would have Elements of Dystopia, you would have UK Dance, or one of these joints. So if you're brand new, I would say that the best thing to do is to find a sample. You know what? No, I'm not even going to take you through the easy route. I'm going to take you to the semi-difficult route. That way you appreciate it more because you earned it. All right, I'm going to close this little easy browser window. By the way, in this playlist, there's a browser video as well. Right? My man King Persia want to hold a conversation. Let's see. I went to the account and they want... Yeah, man, you gotta pay, bro. You gotta pay to play. You did. Alright, so King Persia, we're gonna have to chop it up in a minute. Let me get this video out of the way. Alright, hit me up on my DM me on Instagram, man. We'll chop it up. So yeah, I'm going to take you through a little more difficult way to sample. The first thing you want to do is go into your preferences, right? And you could sample anything that you plug into your computer. You could sample your records, you could sample your CD player, you can sample whatever. So inside of my input, you can sample the mic on your computer or whatever. I'm gonna sample inputs 3 and 4 on my sound card, which are my record player. So that's very important for you to know. You need to know what's going in your input. So I'm gonna sample something really simple. I'll be a little ignorant with it too. So the first thing you want to do is look at your menu up top on the left hand side up top, and then click on the little microphone with the squiggly line, the audio representation, sample record. So we're gonna record a sample. Alright, I'm going to let's see if I'm missing anything. I definitely want to make sure you have your signal flow correct. So I'm coming in from my record player, right? I'm gonna sample something. I'm gonna sample the radio. I'm gonna sample some radio static, just static. Okay, so this screen, I'm not gonna be going over the looper. You have a looper function here. I'm gonna just go over the sampler window. Okay, so there are different ways to sample in this screen. I'm gonna show you one. I'm gonna show you one. The way that I'm gonna show you how to sample is direct input, a stereo input. I'm gonna turn the monitoring on. So look at my mouse. You have the length of your sample, you have your record button, you have your threshold. When this audio goes past that threshold, that's when it's going to start recording. So I'm going to hit my record button. Alright, so it says waiting for signal. It's not going to start until then. My input is external coming through my sound card. For you guys who are sampling VSTs, or you're sampling your own beat and chopping your own beat up, space cadets, cats that are really weird like myself, you can use the resample function. Alright, chop your own beat up, make a new beat. Alright, external, turn the input on so you can hear what you're sampling. You don't have to, but I like to. You also have inserts here where you can drop a freaking audio VST on your input. I like to record everything dry. You can record with a delay or reverb or whatever you want, distortion, whatever. You got 4 slots there to do that. You can record in mono, which I do when I'm recording a vocal sample, or you can record in stereo like I'm recording now. Now, mind you, on the Q link section over here, you have your threshold Q link. Again, you can't control your Q links with your Mini. That's only for Akai outboard gear and interfaces like the Renaissance, the MPC Studio, the X, the Live, all of those joints. But these Q links, you can tell in Q3 how long you want it to, how many minutes. You in Q4 how many seconds, and then you can adjust the threshold here, or you can just adjust the threshold by dragging the joint up and down here. Right. All right, so appreciate that, King Persia. So I have it set at 2 minutes. I'm not gonna sample for 2 minutes. That's just a nice little length or whatever. And at this point, I'm going to turn the static on, and it's going to start recording. And then I hit the record button again to stop sampling. Once I'm done sampling, it's going to ask me to save it, and it's going to drop my sample into the sample bin over here, and then I can then begin to create a program from that. I can edit the sample, or I can create a key group from it and play it across the keys or whatever. And I'll lightly touch on that, but look at the key group video in this playlist. All right, so let's hit the red button. I hope that was enough information. Maybe I didn't give enough. Maybe there's more information. I think that's simple enough, but it has enough girth. All right, so I'm gonna hit I've already hit the record button, so I'm just going, and you can turn the threshold off. You can just tell it to just record when you hit record. It doesn't have to be this way, right? So I'm gonna play some static from the radio. A little bit of static, and then I'm gonna hit stop. Okay, so there's my static sample. I'm gonna name it static, STATIC. All right, it's gonna go in program 1. Am I gonna assign it to a pad yet? No. Root node C3 for you guys who need to be extra particular about the musical notation, and also what key the sample is in, and all of those things. It's important. You can put it in here. If you know it's a C note, you can put it on C2, and then, you know, on the key group, all of the keys will match the sample. So for instance, if I put C1 here and it's a C note, it'll land on C1 on my Akai MPK Mini, and when I hit a D note, it will play in the key of D. If I hit an F note, it will always be in F. So that's not important right now. This is just a static sample, but that's good information for you guys who need your sample to be particular. So I'm gonna hit keep. It's gonna drop it in my sample bin like I had told y'all before, right? Bada bing, bada bit. And make sure that you click on all samples, or it's not gonna show up. New static. Did I call it new static? Nah, I just want it to be called static. Let's rename that. Right click. I guess I'm being particular right now, right? I just want it to be called static. You know what? Cancel that, because I'm gonna chop this, and then I'll call it new static from there. I'll call it static from there. So now we have this sample in the sample bin. I can double click this, and it'll go to the sample edit window, or up top you see your little sample edit menu. Follow my mouse real quick. Why is my mouse not blowing up? Maybe I'm not. There we go. Up top, there's a sample edit joint. You can either click on that, and there's your sample to edit. This is the sample edit screen. I'm gonna go back just to show you guys. I can double click on the particular sample itself, and then it'll pop open real quick for me. All right, now let's see, I'm gonna do more than one sample, so there's no reason for me to do anything crazy here. What I will show you guys is just some simple techniques. Okay, you got a sample here of some static. On the bottom of the sample, I guess you would say the right channel, when you click in the right channel, it will audition, or you can hear it, it'll play what you have selected. So I'm gonna bring the right selector over, just so I'm not playing a whole bunch of static, and then I'm gonna click on the right channel and it'll play that selection. Okay, maybe I want a little more static. That sounds great. Okay, so now when you go into the middle of the screen, you'll see the slice functions. Now what you can do in this area is a bunch of damage, in a good way and in a bad way. Right now what I want to do is two things. I want to normalize my sample, and I want to extract this and give it a new name. I want to make a new sample out of this area that I just highlighted, or the formal term is truncated. So I truncated the joint, right? Bada bing, bada bip. So I'm gonna extract it first, right? So this will create a new sample. I'm gonna click on extract, and you can also tune the sample here. I'll go to that. Let me extract it first. Let me be simple. I'm gonna use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. All right, so bada bing, bada bip. Name this static, S-T-A-T-I-C. Bada bing, and then I'm gonna click do it. So in the sample bin, you'll see static pop up when I actually click do it. There we go. There we go. So static is there, and I'm gonna double click this, and then I'm gonna delete the other sample that I had originally sampled. I don't want that, so we'll delete that. Boom. Don't have to, but I just like to keep it clean sometimes. Sometimes you have too many things in the sample bin over here, things get kind of hairy. You feel what I'm talking about? A little sticky. Alright, so we got our static sample. The next thing I want to do is bring this up to the correct volume. So I'm going to normalize this, and what normalization does is brings the loudest signal up to 0 dB, and everything else comes up in respect to that. So let's just say the highest signal is -6 dB. If it needs to go up 4 dB to come up to the 0 mark, all the other signals will go up 4 dB in relativity to the highest signal. And to make that simple, it just makes the sample louder. So I'm gonna do it. Bada bing, you should see the wave increase. So this makes this louder, and that's for you guys who like to sample low, so you don't have that low electricity hum on your sample, and then you can eliminate that bottom floor. But that's kind of advanced. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the right side. There's my sample, my freaking static sample, right? So I got a bunch of stuff I can do from here. If you look on the left-handed side, which I'm not going to chop yet, but you can see your chop window, your program window, your link slices, and your zero snap and all of that stuff. But we're not going to mess with that right now. Basically, I'm just giving you guys an idea of what you could do with the sample. We just recorded it from the record player. We put it up in the freaking MPC Essentials, and now we're in the edit window, and then we've just extracted it and we've normalized it. And so from this point, let's just say we want to take it and we want to put it on a pad. Very simply, what we would do is go back to the main mode, right? We would take this sample and then just drag it onto pad 1. Bada bing. Let me make sure my mini is functional. I'm gonna hit pad 1 kind of softly. There we go. Sounds like we're changing channels on the digital dial for an FM station. Okay, I'm gonna turn on full level. That's what we sound like. So from this point, we've created a sample onto the pad, and from that point we can then go to the mixer and then begin to tweak the level of the sample. We could bring that down, we could take it back up, we could pan it to the left, pan it to the right, and all of these different things. We could even drop a VST on it and cause it to delay. Actually, let me show you guys that really quickly. Just a simple technique that I like to use. I really love the delay analog sync because it syncs to the tempo of the project, and so it's pretty dope. So it's on fourths right now. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put it on half notes. Sounds like this. And so from this point I can begin tweaking my sample, and let's see what it sounds like with eighth notes on it. So then you can begin to do all different types of stuff with your sample. Really simply. Okay, so let me turn off the inserts, or maybe I'll just take that insert out. No delay VST. Gone. Alright, now the next thing I want to do is show you guys how to create a key group from this stupid static sample. So I'm going to go to the beginning. I'm going to go to the middle of the sequencer section, scroll down to the type, and then I'm going to drop down to click the drop down menu and then go to key group. There is a key group video inside of this playlist, so guys, pay attention and go and watch that. So now I have a key group here. As you can see in my programs, you got a key group. I'm going to go to the program editor, and then I'm going to take the sample bin, which is in this drop down menu, and I'm going to throw the static sample here, and that lays it across the keys. So we've now created a key group from the sample that we've just taken from the record player, and it sounds like this. Let's take it down lower. Let's see what it sounds like here. Yeah, some old school Nintendo 8-bit not Method Man. What's my dude? Meteor Man? No. Method Man. That's my favorite rapper. Well, one of my favorite rappers. Meteor Man is Charles Townsend as the freaking superhero Mega Man. That's one of those Mega Man samples. Anyways, that gives you an idea of what you can do with your sample from your record player. Let's just say you did sample something from the record player. Let's start from scratch. Really? From the scratch, brother? Yes, from scratch. Alright, don't save that. That was a really dope sample. Maybe I should have saved it, but whatever. Alright, I can always get radio static, right? So boom. I'm going to use a sample pack from Akai. Trap drums. And I'm just going to take this and put it in the bin. I'm going to go to samples. And then I'm going to find this joint. Nice drums, right? I'm gonna take that and just drag it into the sample bin really quick. Load that up really quick. Yo, what up, MPC Touch Fondlers? I see you. What's cracking? Again, guys, I'm just doing this last set of tutorials for MPC Essentials to get it done, get you guys up to speed, and then I'm going to MPC 2.0. So I'll be doing those tutorials in the future. Although I got a couple more things on my list that I'm gonna go over, different tutorials and whatnot. So check out this tutorial list, and I'm sorry, this tutorial playlist, and you'll get everything that you need to be banging. All right, so I'm gonna go to, let me close my browser window. Boom, give myself some more real estate, and go to all samples. And for some reason my sample is, oh, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna double click on this again and take it to the sample edit window. Now let's just say this is a sample that you just recorded from your vinyl record, right? I wish I had the tempo of this sample and I don't. That's crazy. Let me just truncate this really quick and see if I can. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with a sample. I just showed you guys how to extract. I'm not gonna do any extraction here. I'm just gonna okay, my right indicator is red, so when I zoom in, it's gonna zoom in on the red indicator. So I'm gonna just truncate this from the end of that hi-hat to the beginning of this kick, right? Let's get that mug super tight, right? Yeah, we just want that little piece right there. So this is a really dope sample. What I want to do is I want to take this little piece right here that's highlighted, and I want to chop that up and make a program out of it. I don't have to do that, but it's one of them things. So I'm gonna just click on the chop, and right now we're on manual chop. So what I can do is zoom in, right? And if I want, I really did not want this to, see, that's why I like doing my own sampling, because when you get sample packs, sometimes people don't chop the way that you would chop. See this right here, I would, let me go back to trim. I would not have that much space at the beginning of my sample. I would be right here. I'd be all up on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see a shorty at a party that you like. You'll be all up on it. Alright, so I'm gonna truncate that all the way to the beginning of that first kick. The first inkling of it. I can't be giving y'all too many of my tricks away, but that's one of those J Dilla techniques, bro. J Dilla is one of the illest ever. All right, so I'm gonna chop this joint up. I zoomed out too far. I could always loop this sample, you know what I'm saying, and just throw throw some keys on top of it or something. But I just want to give you guys a couple more tools. All right, so I'm gonna click on chop real quick. So now I could manually chop this by just dragging. Remember, if I'm on the right channel, I'm auditioning the sound. But if I'm on the left hand side of the sample, I'm chopping. All right, I don't want to chop this though manually, but you can always put your own chops in. Sometimes I do that when it's just one sample of a horn blast that I want, or some type of string pizzicato pluck or something, I don't know. But for this particular type of sample, I just want to do something simple. So I'm gonna go by regions, and maybe I will nah, you know what, I don't want to go by regions. I'm gonna undo that, and I'm going to I'll do maybe a few manual chops, because this don't have to be extra. All I really need to do here is come up with something substantial. And so I'm gonna just chop a couple things up here for you guys, and then just lay them across the pads. So you could do 16, you could do 8, you could do 1 pad, you know what I'm saying? You could loop 1 pad if you want. But I'll just do some random chops on here. You can chop to whatever you want. I feel like I'm on a cooking show, and I'm like adding I'm adding black pepper, and you know, just use as much garlic as you want. You know what I'm saying? You if you want to put some paprika in, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, so I think my marker got erased for my chop section, so I'm just gonna bring marker 9 all the way back over here to this point. Whatever. We actually don't even need 9, so I'm gonna double click on the sample marker, and dang it, I think I deleted 8. I did. I'm gonna make 8 chops. I'm gonna bring this right over, just so my first row on my Akai MPK mini will be good. Okay, sample number 8 is gonna sound like what? It's gonna sound like this. So now you have a couple things that you can do from this point once you get all your chops in. The main thing that I like to do is make a non-destructive conversion, and so what that does is creates a kit from the pads that you have here. Slice 1, slice 2, slice 3, slice 4, slice 5, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna create a new program, and I'm gonna call it I can rename it later. Okay, so I'm gonna say do it, bada bing, double click on the joint. It'll take me to the main mode when I double click, I think. Yeah. And so now on my mini, I should be able to program 2. Alright, so you get the idea. Chopping your samples up can end to an endless session full of joy and happiness because you did some dope chopping, or it can end up in a day of sadness because you just spent all of this time on this freaking sample, and it just won't come out the way that you hear it in your head. So those are some basic techniques with sampling from external sources, and that's also a way that you can implement some techniques via importing samples by using sample packs or a sample that your homie emailed you or whatever. Okay, so let's start a new project. I don't need those drums. Who needs those drums? I don't need those drums. Alright, MPC touch fondlers, you're right. MPC 2.0 is crazy. I just need to get my hands on some T-Pain effect, man. I need some auto-tune. I have 0 auto-tunes. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna start doing some tutorials for that soon. Alright, so let's see. If you guys have any questions, let me know before I log off, because I'm about ready to log off right now. Let me open up my browser window and let me open up something like a Darrell Banks sample kit. Again, you guys can go to the playlist and I'll show you how to really like go hard on your browser. I'm gonna go on Darrell Banks melodic loops and I'm gonna find something I can chop up perfectly. I like this sample right here. So one thing about Darrell stuff that I really love is that he puts his BPM in. So with MPC Essentials or any other MPC software, in the editor section, you can put the BPM of your sample into the program. Let's see. And another way that you can do it is this is about 8 measures. So 2 3 4 2 3 4 1 2. This is about, I would say, I gotta count the BPM. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta count the beats. I'm not sure how many measures this sample is. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, so it's not 8. This is about 16 measures. I'm pretty sure it's 16. If it's more than 16, da 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 da, 16. Okay, maybe it's 32. Okay, I'm gonna presume this is 32. Okay, my pinwheel is kind of stuck. My screen won't stop until the sample's over. Okay, so from BPM, my sample would be 128 beats. I'm pretty sure it'd be 128 beats. So my tempo would be 148. I don't want to tempo match that quite yet. So if I wanted to make an even chop, I'll just make my project 148, and I could always change that later. This is just one of my techniques. You guys don't necessarily have to do it that way. Make sure I put the right tempo in 148. Okay. So once I go to the chop section and I put in something like BPM, it'll automatically chop evenly on my pads. And I could even thicken up the resolution, or I can loosen the resolution. I can make it 16ths. I'm gonna go to regions, and I could tell it I want 16 pads, right? Or I could even increase this to even tighter resolution. Tell it I want 32 chops, or even more. So after 16 pads, it'll go into bank B, right? And so I can audition these by clicking the pad or clicking on the right channel. But I'm gonna take this back down to I'm gonna take this back down to 16 just because I don't want that type of, I'm not trying to make a key group with sample pads, you feel me? So take this back down to 16, and then I can create a new program from that, and then click do it. So now I have a melody that I've created. I'm sorry, not a melody I've created. Now I have a program that I've created with this sample and these sample chops laid across 16 pads. And so with my MIDI, I could begin to play those. Right, I can always go into my sample edit area, which I encourage you to go watch the sample editor video in this playlist. Let's just say I want to turn the I want to change the key. I'm gonna detune this about 6, 7, -7 semitones, and it'll sound like this. Woo! Hey, 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 hey. That sound real wavy. Shout out to Darrell Banks. That's a dope sample. So that's another thing that you guys can do with a sample and sampling in the sample edit function. I would keep this, but I don't need it. Who needs it? I don't need it. So I'm going to take this same sample. I'm going to delete that program. Actually, I'm going to delete both of these programs. Delete. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. Yes, I'm sure. Delete it. And I want to delete this program. Delete that. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Bada bing, bada bip. We'll go back to all samples. Let's see. I pretty much went over everything dealing with the sample that you can do. I'm gonna delete the sample as well. All right. Let's play around a little bit really quick. I'm gonna show you guys how to use the resample function, and then we'll be out of here. Okay, delete. Cool. All right. I'm going to go into the sequences section, and in the drum area, I'm going to click plug in. Bada bing. Click on plug in, and then I'm gonna decide to use some type of plug-in. I don't know. Let's see what we're gonna use. No, I don't want any of those. Let's see, VST. Let's use no, I don't want any of those. You know what? You probably just have hybrid if you're just starting out. So I'm gonna just click on hybrid real quick. All right, I'm gonna let that load hybrid up real quick. Once you get hybrid loaded up, you're gonna go back to the sample, the sampler function. This is taking longer than I thought it would. Okay, hybrid's all loaded up. Let me give myself some real estate here. Looked like one of my notes got stuck. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to open hybrid up because I don't want that sound. It's kind of irritating to me. And I'm going to just choose anything but that. I want to hit something real ratchet for some reason. These just sound too disco, too disco for me. I need something like a sine wave. Randomly, I'll pick this. Yeah, that's ratchet enough for me. All right, so with this VST, I'm going to come up with a little melody real quick. I don't know. Something silly. Alright, so stop. And I'm going to give myself a couple more bars. Watch the workflow video to catch up to what I'm doing if you don't know what the heck I'm doing. Alright, give myself a count in. Okay, that sounds pretty ratchet. That's what I wanted. I got what I was going after. So go to the resampler. I'm sorry, go to the sample record section in the menu up top, and then in the input section you're going to highlight resample. So now what MPC Essentials is going to do is sample your sound card. So when you hit play here, MPC Essentials is going to sample what's coming out of your sound card. And for some reason this sample is like plus 10 dB, which is insane. I'm going to turn the program down some, or maybe turn the let me turn the mixer down just a little bit for hybrid. Just a little bit, not too much. Let's see what that sounds like. Don't forget to turn the metronome off too when you get ready to sample, because it will record the metronome. It will record the metronome, and then you'll be looking like, what? Okay, so I'm going to turn my record function on again, and I'm going to play. Okay, I'm going to hit stop here. Now, one thing that's dope about, oh, maybe I turned it down too low. Let me name this ratchet cratchet. One thing that's dope about MPC Essentials is, and this should look familiar to you, we just recorded from the vinyl record player, so it's the same process. It's going to drop this sample into my sample bin. So you'll see Ratchet Cratchet pop up over here. Bada bing. I can double click on that, and then I can begin to edit this. So of course I recorded it low. The first thing I'm going to do is normalize. I might be giving you guys too many old school producer techniques, but whatever. Alright, so that's normalized, and it's probably going to sound like this. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so from this point you can begin to chop this up. You could begin to put this on a pad, but before you do that, I would suggest that you go into your workspace window, select all of these notes and delete them, and then go back to your program 1 where your pads or whatever program that you got loaded up, go to all samples, and then you can take that ratchet cratchet sample or whatever your sample is and then stick it on the pad, and then you're good to go. And then you can also go to the sample edit window and create a new chop from it. You could watch my other videos in this particular tutorial, because I show you how to run it through some of the program edit functions and whatnot. Normalizing this kind of like bought it out a lot. It kept it from clipping like it was earlier, but it is a little bit too loud for my taste. So I'm gonna bring it down. And let's just say I want to let me close that. I'm gonna just draw a note in real quick for my Fruity Loops people. I don't need a bunch. I just need one note to loop this here. Oh, I got the selection tool. I'm gonna draw a note here, and then I'm gonna draw a note here, and so it's gonna loop. I'm not gonna do too much to it, so it's gonna loop when I play it because the tempo is on point. Now I'm gonna go to my mixer section and add some chorus or delay or distortion. So I got 4 slots. I could add some compression. I could EQ it. A bunch of stuff that I could do. Let's see what pops out. Fuzz distortion pops out to me right now. It's already distorted. It's already ratchet, but I'm gonna make it even more ratchet. So I pretty much showed you guys the basic techniques that you can use for. Let me turn the drive all the way up on this joint. Let me bring that low end up. I'm gonna bring the high down. Bring the way high end down. Then I'm gonna bring the mid all the way up. Then I'm gonna bring the output up. Then I'm gonna take it through a filter. This is not supposed to be a beat making video, right? Let me take you through that MPC 3000 low pass filter. Nice. Let me scroll over a little bit. Throw a little modulation on it. Change the pitch just a little bit. No, I don't want to change the tempo of the pitch. Let's just change the modulation a little bit then. That sounds dope. Then we'll make this a noise wave and make it even more ratchet. Make the envelope a little bit bigger. Make the filter a little bit bigger. And I'm tweaking and I'm supposed to just be sampling. Alright, so guys, I've shown you how to sample from a couple different sources, from your record player, from in your computer, from sample packs from that you got from whoever. This is kind of annoying. It wouldn't be as annoying if I put some drums on here, but I don't want to go all the way off into that. Wouldn't be as annoying if I had drums on it. So showed you how to sample from a few different sources. I've shown you some basic sample editor functions. Let's see. I'm not going to go over all of the slice editor functions. You can always Google these or YouTube these. What the heck it is to fade in or fade out or reverse a sample. You know how to what reversing a sample is. Pitch shifting and time stretching, all those things. I would say, you know, search them, look on YouTube University, and you know, you'll just tweak around with it. You don't even have to look this stuff up. Just, you know, save two versions of a sample, destroy one, and you know, keep the other one, and you know what I'm saying, find your sound, man. Spend some time with it. And just dig in and figure out, you know, what these things do, because I'm not your daddy. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so showed you how to create a new program. When you extract your sample into a new program, that creates new waves. That can be taxing on your hard drive, whether it's your internal hard drive on your laptop or if it's on your external. If you got space like that, hey, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and take up the terabytes. But I would suggest that, you know, just do non-destructive programs. That way it's all math and not space. All right. Recording. Just showed you how to set up a nice loop inadvertently, throw some effects on it, and sampling a VST. You could sample hybrid or whatever. You can sample your own voice, whatever. Sample a mic. It just all depends on your input. Drag and drop your samples from any browser. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the MPC browser. It could be your desktop on your computer, whether it's Windows or Mac. It could be from your Mac browser, your Smart Finder window, or from your browser on your PC. All right. We're done. We're done. So I have about a good 3 to 4 videos in on this playlist. Do your research, go back and watch those. And again, I'm about to go to MPC Studio 2.0. So these videos for MPC Essentials are coming to a close. That's why I'm making this last playlist for you guys. Follow all of my social media stuff on the right hand of the screen. And click on that donate button on my YouTube profile page, youtube.com/brother. It's a PayPal donate link. Help keep the channel going, you dig? Donate your boy a cup of coffee or a bag of coffee or a new Lamborghini. You dig? All right, I'm up out of this piece, man. I appreciate y'all. We are almost at 3K subscribers. Together we did this. I'm nothing without y'all on this YouTube stuff, so I appreciate it. And I'm out this piece. Yeah. Once again, shout out real quick, King Persia. MPC touch fondlers, and everybody over there in Europe, Africa, Australia, and right here in Chicago. I haven't given props to the homie Close Your Mouth Productions down there in Florida. Shout him out. And yeah, I'm about this piece. Let's see, did I miss anything? It don't matter. I'm gone.